evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Brotherhood of Bounce. We are back again. We've got another person this time, another willing participant. We've got Dave.
I'm being kept here against my will. I'm blinking 3 times. Please come and rescue me. They forced me to do statistics.
Stop it, or I'm getting the car battery back out.
No, I'll be good. I'll be good.
Last time?
Yeah, I promise. I'll be good. Statistics.
Yes, statistics. Yes.
Statistics and numbers.
Yes, good. That's what you're here for. You're a little number goblin. Anyway, yeah. So we're going to do our usual thing. We're going to make it relatively quick. Try and keep it under an hour. We're on to a good streak of 1 so far. So we're going to start. We're going to dive straight into the Division 1 results, and I would like to point out.
What ridiculousness is this?
What did I say? What score did I say?
You said 3-2.
I didn't say 3-2. I swear someone said. I swear someone else said. I said 5-4. But damn.
No, 3-2. You said 3-2. Sean said 4-3.
Oh.
I said 9-8.
so
I think I'm closest.
So on average, we probably got it.
But we all called it Pro Elves.
We all called it Pro Elves.
This is what happens when you have elf versus elf, really.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is not a violent game. I mean, if you look, 10 armor breaks for MNG, only 7 armor breaks for Dwynen's elites. It's very typically what looks to be an elfy game. I mean, 4 passes for one, 5 passes for the other.
You should look at those teams, because that Pro Elf team is getting disgusting. But that High Elf team seems to have gained like 400 value.
Where is that?
So MNG is 2040, which is not a great difference, but it's still a horrible looking roster. Isn't it just? Look at that. Leap on a blitzer.
Both catchers now have sprint.
Actually, 5 blitzer. It's got strength 4 lino. It's just not nice, is it?
And then the
needs dwarf in that. And then that's looking pretty vile as well, because he's got a catcher out, so that's like he's basically 1850, 1840. Yeah. And he's got like that. He's got the agi up catcher. He's got strength up catcher. It's disgusting. 2 guard. That's a lot for elves.
That is a very elves.
Yeah, both of them are pretty horrible, aren't they? Anyway, we should move on. Nothing to say about that result, is there?
No.
No, the only thing to really say there is it's elf versus elf. What do you expect?
Yeah, it was going to be a high-scoring game anyway.
Yeah. We'll move on to the next shocker.
Kemri and some Chorf, our last season's champions, are really struggling this season.
They are, man. They are. We all called this for the Chorfs. We all said there is no way on earth that this is going to the Kemri. We were all wrong.
We were all very wrong. I mean, even the Chorfs did suffer a death on their side. I don't know what died in particular. They had more armor. They gave more armor breaks, as it were, but they didn't do anything with them. And they obviously must have been. Is it possible the Kemri slowed down the Chorf so much?
I think, to be fair, that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, the Tomb Guardians are quite good at sort of holding a line. At the end of the day, if you're able to break past that Chorf line and keep those Chorfs in check, then you only really have the Bull Centaurs to deal with. And if you can get even a single touchdown in, at the end of the day, the Chorf is going to struggle to get that touchdown even on their own drive with the full 8 turns to play with.
Exactly.
So the fact that this went 1-0 doesn't surprise me. I think it could have gone either way. It was going to be a case of whichever team scored first. But the death for the Uzki-like Bulls is pretty big, and you're quite right. They are suffering a little bit this season compared to last season.
Absolutely. What was the death? Do you have it?
I think it was a hobbo.
Was it hobbo? Okay.
Yeah, because he's got a fresh hobbo at 13.
Yeah,
so
he does.
It's just a hobbo.
You're not
nothing
worrying
too
about a
special.
hobbo.
Yeah, if it's like a bull centaur or something, I might have.
He did, however, and this is going to be quite important for the next person he plays against. He is down a Chaos Dwarf blocker.
Yes,
for the next game, which is no, it's armor down.
Armor down. Well, actually, down's career ending.
Yeah, well, on a Chorf, yeah. I mean, at that
He's
point,
got a double anti-up Bull Sentinel, though.
That being said, though, that particular one for the game after, look what he
got.
got.
No, he had that already.
No,
he had that already.
No, look at the front.
Oh no! Wait, he's absolutely right. That's not Bardak Livingbeard. That is that is a new one with claws. So
that is a new bit of claw. It's armor down, but it's got claw.
But that's not the important thing. He's leveled a Bull Centaur. It's now actually 4.
What?
with dodge.
Excuse
And
me?
break
That's an
tackle.
elf.
Dodge, block, break, tackle, sprint, sure feet.
Yeah.
That,
That thing is file.
Well, that's just his ball carrier though, and at the end of the day, all you need to do now is just kind of like put it on its
Kill
ass.
it.
I mean, at strength 4, it's going to be a bit hard to thwack it, but
that's a 4-legged elf.
if they gives it leap on its next level up, that would just be
No. Sorry, apologies.
icing on the cake.
Apologies. That is a 4-legged vampire
Yeah.
without bitey potential.
And better armor.
Yeah, better armor. Jesus, that's
Yeah, that's Ming.
that's me, and I love it. But yeah, that was a
Okay,
little bit of a surprise. This one, go on. What you got to say for yourself?
It was a draw, man.
Anything?
Undead and dwarfs. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah. What did we?
You guys, you said it would be a draw. I said I'd win because obviously I'm me.
You always back yourself.
It was because it was a blizzard. Like I did.
Oh,
have
you
a
were under
shot.
blizzard, were you?
I managed to force it to the point where I had 2 turns to score at the end, but I just couldn't make the pass because of the blizzard.
Oh, you couldn't make the pass as a dwarf team in the blizzard. Oh,
I would have
surprising.
made the pass. It would have been 2-1 to the dwarfs had it not been a blizzard.
Oh.
Of course. Anyway,
Absolutely, of course. I do like that you managed to inflict 3 injuries, though. I mean, that's
that's good, mate. That's the most injuries I've got. My death roller now has SPP.
Shocking.
You did walk out of that game with an actual reasonable amount of SPP for a Division 1 team.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but he got more armor breaks than me.
Breaking the armor is one thing, but unless you're hurting them.
Well, that's just it. It doesn't matter how many times you break armor; it's how many injuries you inflict off of the breaking armor.
Yeah. So
at the end of the day,
you got a draw, but you got a divisional team with a good chunk of development on it, just to really edge it through. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Lizards and orcs. This was a bit of a.
No, it wasn't. We called this.
Did we call? We didn't call 3-1, did we?
We did actually. All called 3-1.
Oh, God, I can't remember.
We all said 2 or 3-1.
Wow.
But Lizards are going to win it.
Yeah, well, there you go. Let's have a look what that skink got. He got 7 out of 16. It was already had wrestle. It now has sidestep.
He's got like all his skinks are block or wrestle.
Wow, yeah, fair.
It's a nice looking team now.
It is a very nice looking team, even though the orcs got the most armor breaks. It didn't matter because skinks just ran circles around it by the look of them.
No, yeah, it didn't go well.
Well, it tends to be the case when you've got skinks. I mean, the sidestep on those now is absolutely fantastic for moving them around. And, the one that's agi up, that's quite a nice piece to have as well there.
Yeah, the agi up skink was pulling. I think what I saw of it actually, I saw a little bit of it. I think that agi.
It'll be doing work.
He was earning his paycheck.
To be honest, I think the only other thing I'd want to see on that team would be a sneaky git skink, because that can be quite useful, particularly when playing against teams when your Saurus has put something down and then the sneaky git skink goes and does a nice tasty foul.
Oh yeah. Stamp. Does a flip and everything. This one, if I recall, this was a surprise.
Again, we all called this. Well, I said it was a draw. You guys said Nurgle wins.
Yeah, and can you blame us, really, considering?
No.
But yeah, it was
solid victory.
A 1-0 victory for Humies. 13 armor breaks, 2 expulsions. Oh, I think his fouls weren't going through very well.
No, he's got a strength foot rotter though.
So he already had the strength foot rotter.
The strength foot rotter.
That thing now has block. So that's oof. But yeah, that was a surprising one. No deaths. Anything fancy in the statistics? I think it must have. It looks like actually. Look at that, 5 KOs inflicted. I think for the first time in a while, Damo didn't roll a 10.
Yeah, and you've got a thrower on an MNG. I mean, oh dear.
Yeah. Oof.
You're not going to be worrying about that, are you?
I wouldn't be. Anything?
Last one?
Last one. The Carnage Count, some Vamps, and the Monster Mash Bash.
Yeah, man. Valiant effort from the Vamps, but they just vamped themselves in the second half.
Did they? Did they just implode?
Yeah, we all called it. They valiantly took the lead, but it all just goes to pot when you're a vampire far too easily, doesn't it? You just roll a few 10s and that's it, done.
3 armor
Yeah,
breaks.
we all said necro. We all said necro.
Yeah, we figured this was going to happen.
Okay, so we should move on to some prediction edge for next week.
Yes.
I think.
Davey's still there.
Yeah,
He's been quiet for the last 2 games.
Chilling, man. Just
I'm
chilling.
still here chilling as you're
Chill.
providing the analysis.
Aye.
At the end of the day here, going into having a look at the vamp result, I think the thing that surprised me most there was actually the fact that he only actually failed 3 bloodlusts.
Really?
But sometimes,
That's pretty good, actually.
but sometimes it's those 3 that did fail that can really tip the game one way or another.
Did they proper stuff him?
Well, if you have a look at the sort of the overall rolls, I mean, he failed 5 of his own 5 cash rolls, so that's pretty nasty right there.
So it sounds
and
like
when you've got 3 bloodlust fails, it's like, well, did some of that come from your own cash and taking your own
Did you bite yourself out of the
players
game?
out?
Yeah.
And at the wrong time, losing a guy can be quite disastrous, particularly if it's a solid position and the next thing you know,
Yeah. I mean, you can just make a hole in your own line,
Yeah.
can't you?
Yeah, it's look at the armor rolls about 61%, even for armor 7 that's
all right.
I thought it should be a bit higher than that.
No, armor 7's about right.
Okay, but still, gross.
But yeah, it's not fun anyway. So
Not
we should
fun.
move on to next week and have a look at this. So we've started off with a high elf versus undead
Whew.
showdown.
So honestly, given the performance of Dwynen's elite
Yeah.
so far, I kinda want to give it to the elves over the undead, because that team, Dwynen's elites, is honestly, it's starting to look pretty
Cancerous.
sort of well rounded. I mean, he's got the agi up catcher, he's got the strength up catcher, he's got block on both of those key pieces, he's got the thrower that is not only accurate but has dodge and block, so it's going to be hard to sort of put it down, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then lineman with block and guard, man, it's kind of everything you need. I kind of want to say
it's an elf team that looks like an elf team, isn't it?
Yeah. I want to say my money would probably be on the elves for this.
As much as it pains me to agree with you, yes.
It's 2-1 to the elves, I think.
Probably 2-1 to the elves. Possibly a 3-1 if they get a lucky break. Maybe
They won't get
cheeky
one of those.
bits, or you never know. But yes, you, as Dave, you said, very well rounded, and yes, as you said, you were very cancerous. So I'm going to rename these guys to melanoma.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that might have a bearing on this is that the undead team there is 1430 TV versus the high elf 17.
Yeah, he can spend some good money.
He can get some good stuff in there potentially.
I mean, to be honest, like his team doesn't really need anything. If you go onto the Bal Marcella servers and look at the actual team listing, it's not lacking anything.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's not
what
lacking
an
anything,
undead
but
team can do with what it's got. He's got his dirty player. He will look to foul. You take a couple of bribes with that money, maybe a chainsaw, start chopping.
Well, that's what I'm kind of thinking is that a solid early pick from the star players and a couple of bribes.
Yeah.
And you could be looking at something a little bit different. I mean, I'd still want to give it to the elves in this case.
Yeah.
But there's a lot potentially that could change depending on inducements.
Yeah. The inducements will definitely be the big player in that. I mean, that's a big chunk of change to get.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say 2-1 for 2-1 for the elves there, I think.
Yeah, 2-1 for the elves. I've just gone back to 1 too many pages.
Then we're moving on to orcs versus the chorfs.
Whoa, this is.
I mean, it's not. What you want about?
I would agree with you, and I think this is an easy one to call. I'm just going to give this straight to the bulls.
Yeah.
Because those orcs are just going to fall apart against that amount of claw.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now there's a little bit extra claw in there. That's a very good point.
More claw. Just enough
more
claw. I can't see past that chorf team. I mean, I appreciate it keeps losing, but it's got to win sometime, hasn't it?
At what point though does form come into it? It's like yes, it's,
when you're playing a team that isn't like vastly inferior to you.
Yeah.
I think which is basically every team to the us levels.
Yeah. I'm with it. It wouldn't surprise. It would not surprise me if the ball was winning it. It's a 2-1 classic Chorf grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a 2-1 Chorf grind out with the balls taking it. It is worth noting though that green is the color. Do you actually still have a level up on a Blitzer to do?
Just shame.
So we're not seeing exactly what this team's going to be going.
But then
anyway.
again, it is the elf blitzer. It's it's the lodging sidestepper.
I think he rolled a double.
Really? Again.
That's why he's not done anything.
Ooh. I mean, what do you give the elven orc that has everything?
I mean, I'd be tempted with that set of skills. I mean, would you be looking at? Actually, I don't know. Jump up.
Jump
not a bad
up
shout.
could be quite good there.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be a bad idea at all. There is also, it's already got dodge and sidestep, which is just disgusting. given the fact that he's rolled doubles twice for it now.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, this is always difficult because it's secretive for the doubles. Because if he's got a stat up, then that's obviously the logical. Yeah, I mean, if he's got an agi stat up, yeah.
With those two straight up, you just do it.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. But that thing is just getting more and more gross as time goes by. But if it is a standard double, then jump up, I reckon, is a very good shout.
Jump up would be good because getting straight in on a blitz from the floor or being able to stand up and still have full movement is going to be really big for positional.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to matter too much against the bulls because one, that bull centaur is disgusting, and two, they've got claw for days,
might blow,
and your armor's worth nothing in that.
Yeah, in that particular situation, it just
two claw piling on.
Yeah. Automatically breaking arm on anything more than 8 is just like.
They've got mighty blow.
Yeah, and that as well. He's got mighty blow coming out his ears. He's got guard coming out of his arse.
I was going to say, I'm pretty certain at this point now, bar one, every single Chorf on that team has guard, bar one.
Yeah.
And every single Chorf has mighty blow. And what is it? 3 of them are now on claw?
3 of them have claw. It's
3 of them have claw,
man.
yeah. And then there's one.
This is another tumour, man. You shouldn't.
And then there's 2 there with piling on, and then 1 with jump up because why not? I think after claw he just rolled the double and just went, oh, fuck it, I guess.
That jump up makes perfect sense after piling on, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if you know you're going to be on the floor that often, you're going to take jump up, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, fair enough. Good point.
Poise Angels at MNG, so we should go on to this one. I mean, this is an easy call, isn't it, for MNG United?
MNG United 3-0.
3-1, man. 3-1.
3-1. Give the humans something.
Moving on. That's fairly cut and dry.
Let's
have a look at Monster Mash Bash. This could be interesting.
Yes, this could be interesting.
Because this is a surprising Khemri team. I mean, if Dave could break away with the Monster Mash.
So I'll go with that. Monster Mash. Hang on.
Dave's giving inducements to the Khemri as well.
He is giving inducements to the Khemri.
He can break away.
He does have some pretty nasty whites, mind you. The Agi 2 one is just going to want to just like be locking shit up.
It'd be a fight, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it's going to get
if he can break clear, he's got this. I do think he'll win it.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a tight one.
Honestly, say if with that white, if that white levels up with the Agi 2, would you give it stand firm?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just give it stand firm and just so it just stands there in the way. It's like, I'm not planning on dodging anywhere, mate. Not with this busted ankle. So come through me, mate.
I think what is going to be big here, though, is that the Khemri team is going in without its level 4 Blitzerer, so it's locked out on one of those, and one of the Tomb Guardians has a niggle.
Yes, I think. How long has it had that niggle for now?
Forever.
I think it's had it forever. It's a double niggle.
It's a double niggle, which means that
Both his knees are
if it gets so this is kind of the whole problem that he's going to have here now, is that the whole point for the Necro team is, can you get away from the Khemri? If the Khemri can lock you up, you got a problem. But if you can punch that Tomb Guardian specifically,
and manage to get him down,
then it's suddenly
assuming you get through his armor in the first place.
Yeah, it's armor 9.
It is armor 9.
It is armor 9, but don't forget that the Monster Mash Bash
do got 2 lots of claw.
Do have claw on their werewolf, so they have got an option to deal with that armor 9. I mean, one of those werewolves taking a pop at that Tomb Guardian,
you take it,
that's potentially taking that out of the game, and that'll have a big impact for the rest of the game if that goes, particularly if it goes early.
Yeah. Very, very.
I mean,
true.
you've got to remember he's got his strength 5 throw raw with blodge.
Yeah, that thing's so daft. It doesn't. And blocks the last thing.
It's a heavily leveled team going up against a team that isn't as heavily leveled. I do think the Necromancer will win it on the basis that he will break with the speed, but it could be as little as 1-0.
Yeah, it could be.
I'd be inclined to agree with that. I think this is probably going to end up a 1-0 game, but for my money, honestly, it could have gone either way.
Yeah,
you going with the neck?
I'll go with the Necro, just because the movement 8 werewolves are going to be, if they can get out.
They're gone, aren't they?
They're gone. That's it. You're not going to catch up to them. Not when everything on your team is like movement 6 at the best.
Yeah, his movement 7's out, so.
Well, that's just it. That was his MA up blitzer as well. It's gone. So the movement 8 werewolves, they're just going to be out of there. One of them gets the ball, that's it. It's gone.
Yeah, his highest movement is now 6. He's got 1 movement up blitzer, 1 movement down blitzer.
If I were going to get specific about that, for me it would be the Necro are going to take their 1 touchdown on their drive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the Khemri are going to stall out the rest of that drive, and then it'll go into the Khemri drive, and the Khemri drive will just not get anywhere.
Fair enough. I want to believe in the Khemri. I mean, I've got Khemri in TRBBL, and they're running really well, and I really like Khemri now.
Yeah, they're really fun. They're
fun to play, and I really, really, really want them to win. But looking at what is missing here, it's 1-0 minimum to the Necro, but do not be surprised if you see a 1-1.
That's fair enough.
Then
it's me versus the vampires.
This has to have you written all over it.
It does, doesn't it? It has to have me. I've got tackle. I've got mighty blow. I am likely to punch thralls.
Yes, they're on a 7. They should just fold like paper.
Knowing my injury rate, I mean, it could be fun because he's really good. But I reckon 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at this.
I'd be inclined to go 2-1 as well, particularly because he's actually going to be down 2 thralls for his game against you, which
he'll induce a fuck ton of thralls.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to for his vamps, because
he's getting 3 journeymen.
Yeah,
so,
no, it's not. He's getting 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, yeah, 2. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, he's getting 2 out the gate. But to be fair, I think that he's going to suffer here, particularly if you get a good run with the death roller.
Yeah,
because if enough thralls go down, those vampires are in trouble.
Yes.
The plan.
And
I haven't really got a lot on my team, but I've got my mighty blow.
You do. I've
got me sidestep.
You've got 1 mighty blow there, and your death roller, obviously.
2. Me death roller's got it. Troll Slayer's got it.
Yeah. This is a. Oh no, your Troll Slayer's got it as well. I'm just being blind. I was looking at your Blitzer, Kerry King.
Yeah, it's the Blitzer, the Troll Slayer, and the Death Roller all have Mighty Blow, which is going to put the hurt on those thralls. I mean, even if they're not injuries, even if it's not cash, even if it's just KO, that's still big. It's still off the pitch. Yeah, it's still a problem.
Yeah,
Nurgle versus Lizards. This could be fun. Last time they met, the Lizards won.
Yes.
Damo's rolls started to fail. I reckon it's 2-1 to the Lizards myself.
Yeah, I am
Then they'll do it again.
I'm inclined to go with you on that because they will have the speed, and I think Damo's luck on the rolling the tens is starting to run out.
I'm gonna be slightly disagreeing here, and not 2-1. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be 2-0 to the Lizards.
Ooh.
Putting Damo in the ground.
Yeah, we agreed on everything there. So yeah, let's have a quick look at the table.
Yeah. Ding. Yes. To be fair, David is on a.
Dave's on a stormer.
Dave's on a stormer. 4-0 is a cracking start.
It's pretty tight then thereafter.
Yeah,
there's a lot of drawers in the middle.
Yeah, there's quite a few draws, and it's say Kemri, lots of draws. Yeah, makes sense. It's from second to, well, honestly, from second to like the rest of the table, it's pretty like it could swing either way because all the teams.
Second to ninth, mate. Second to ninth. There's only 3 points in it.
Yeah, exactly. There's not much in it.
Yeah, the spread is very 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 tight here.
Yeah.
Dave's walking away with it.
I think the only thing that bothers me here is
they're only 4 points to bottom from second.
Yeah, I think the only thing that bothers me here though is that those vamps are really not having a good time of this.
No, they're hurting.
They are suffering, and the more that continues, the more likely they're gonna stay there now. I mean, 1170 TV.
1170 TV, yeah, and
they're basically out.
They did lose relatively recently a movement 8 vampire.
Yeah,
that was pretty.
I mean, it's not fun to say, but at this point now, I think that's kind of, unless they have a crazy turnaround. I mean, they do have 6 more days after. They do have 6 more weeks after this week.
Yes. To
try and pull something out, but it always feels horrible to say, but I'm looking at that and thinking 1170 TV now. They've only won 1 game so far.
It just means you can take the strength 5 vamp that has no bloodlust.
Yeah,
because true. From an inducement perspective, from an inducement perspective, you are pretty much rolling bank.
Yeah.
And don't worry, man, I quite like that because some of the inducements you can take on mental as vampires.
Yeah, that's
Wilhelm Janey as well.
I mean, honestly, I hope they turn it around. I really do. Because I always like to see a vampire team do well, but I'm not going to hold my breath over it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Shall we move on to Division 2A?
We shall move on to Division 2A in the completely wrong order.
So this is your division, David.
It is indeed.
This is our division, David.
It is.
Oh, it is. Both of your
in fact, it was Fritch and I playing against each other last week.
Yes. Right at the bottom there, but we'll leave that for now.
Well, given the fact that one's actually at the bottom, Fritch, we're definitely leaving it for now.
Yep, definitely.
Meanwhile, Sean called a draw. Both me and you said Emily was going to get her first win. We are all right that she did in fact get her first point, so well done.
Yeah, she got her first point.
First point, but not first win, so you're not quite that right.
Shut up. But it was a 0-0. It was to be fair though, 0-0 against some chaos. That's good going for Flings. It's like,
and to be fair, it has to be said that not only is it good going for Flings, but more importantly, Fling interception.
I know.
Yes.
You don't see it often, but holy Christ, it was a thing. It's
the job.
It's like that halfling had a spring in his step. But
he was really a slan.
Yeah, he channeled his inner kid's lever, just boinged up. But no,
only 2 SPP in it as well. I mean, if you have a look at the SPP out of it, I mean, Chaos only walked away with 2 SPP more than the halflings. Yeah. So on the whole, while it's not a win, I'd say. In terms of a league perspective, I would very definitely call that a win for the halflings because they didn't get murdered out of it, and they've actually walked away with a reasonable amount of SPP.
Yeah.
So
we move on. Right, what's the next one up?
It is some lizards versus some rats, and the lizards did it. Yeah, I don't remember.
I think we actually had the rats. You know,
we might have done, but it was I think what it is that armor break.
Yeah. Yeah, we called the rats. We called unanimously in favour of the rats.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think. But I
Rockin'
think
Beak proving that a good name is all you need.
the good naming convention finally worked a bit late, but we got there.
No, he's won everything else.
Yeah.
We were calling it. We were saying no, he gets it because he's got a good name. Like we were like, no, those rats, man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
Turns
Well,
out we were
I
wrong.
think the interesting thing there though is you look at the ball possession statistics as well.
Yeah,
I
he's just
mean,
held it.
yeah. It's a whole
like
article.
there's no sort of dealing with that. I mean, if you've got 75% ball possession throughout the entire course of a game, I mean that's no surprise right there.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen, don't you? So what have we got next?
Fear Us and Sports Injuries, Nurgle and Norse.
So a 1-1 draw here did not surprise me, but what amazes me is how many armor breaks Nurgle managed.
Yeah,
Compared to the
20.
Norse?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, it's...
But if you have a look at the stats, 46 successful blocks from Nurgle to 27 successful blocks of sports injury. I mean, clearly the Norse were on the receiving end of the fight in that one.
Yes.
And they did take
Nil-nil.
a lot of injuries. I mean, 5 injuries is massive.
You're
and
loving
Nurgle
it
have come
as
out of
Nurgle.
that. Well, Nurgle have come out of that with a huge amount of SPP.
Murdering SPP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loads of it, but to
Yeah.
walk out of it just on a 1-1, it's I think that the Nurgle speed must have let them down in the end.
Well, you know, the advantage of
For the lack of
if you are playing Norse, you do have the option to play like a human. So
Yeah, so
occasionally it does work. Next up, Hyle versus the Lizards. We all
Well, hold
thought
on.
this
Sorry,
was a draw.
just to glance back for a second there to sports injury, just for a moment. If you actually have a look at the damage done to the roster,
Oh, yes, good point.
What?
Please hold. Do 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 do.
because that Norse roster now,
Oh,
where's
my
it gone?
days!
what Norse roster?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 8
man.
players left. His team value is only 970. Oh,
and he's only got 70k in the bank. The outcome of that has
It's
been
definitely a sport
horrible.
injuries.
Oh,
Yeah.
Definitely a sporting injury.
Apart. Yeah, it's
And
sporting
the
injury.
be-
Christ.
The best bit is with how brutalized the team has been. You'll notice that, as is always the case with the Calamitous casual, strong team. Well, if you look down at player number 6, I'll draw your attention to one Grete Vigdis, who's very definitely not a sports injury, who is an armor down and was only kept because he got the MVP.
So that was a higher, wasn't it?
It had to be because that was one of the journeymen in a game that had been kept because it has ended up
With the MVP.
with the MVP, and with a roster that brutalized, you got to take it.
Yeah, I think that was a I've got no choice. You're being hired because if I don't, no one else is better. Even with it, even though he's got the same armor now as a friggin' halfling.
Yeah, he is a halfling basically.
Well, to be fair, on the subject of halflings, his team now is only 200 TV away from the Sherwood Shorties.
Yeah, but he's got to take 150 in loners.
Yeah. Oh.
So we've got Oathbound and Liz on you. Well, we said this was all a draw, so everybody was wrong.
Yes, we did it. We did it wrong.
Good job.
It's been a good day for lizards. It's been a good.
Lizards been doing all right, haven't they?
Yeah.
This was a good one. The next one up after this. So I mean, it's fair enough, isn't it? That one.
Yeah, I mean, want to make sure there's nothing.
It looks like it was the fight that was, fought.
57 blocks. Whew. He was punching. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well, we thought it was a draw.
Versus 18. Yeah, you know where it's going, didn't you?
Yeah.
Next, Graham only managed to draw against the Grand. So he managed to draw against Tom.
Yes, he managed to draw
Tom's
against
leveled up a
Tom.
mummy.
Ooh.
It's steady guns. It's got the block mummy has leveled.
And he now has guard as well on top of that.
To be fair, the result of that didn't surprise me too much, given the fact that the Khemri threw 53 blocks to 46, and they managed to inflict 3 injuries and 2 KOs during the course of that game.
So I think
2 passes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Graham's good, but if he's getting his orc slapped around like that.
what I should say is, if you're down 5 players, then
Yeah, you're not going to do much here.
you're not going to do much.
It might have been
fair enough.
Orc scoring first, and then they just slapped up at the end.
Well,
But
no, actually, Fritz was right. Nobody was right. We all said Orc win. Ignore me. And then lastly, the Anti-Elf Brigade versus the Bretts. They ain't Bretts. They ain't elves, but they might as well have been because they got elfed.
Honestly, I wouldn't go far. It was a bit of a clusterfuck, to be honest with you.
So what should have been a 1-1 draw
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
ruined.
It's literally
Ruined by that bullshit Bull Centaur catching that fucking scatter.
Oh,
It looks like he punched you well and good though.
No, he really did. I mean, at the end of the day, walking out of that with 21 SPP, I got absolutely murdered. I mean, 52 blocks thrown by the Anti-Elf Brigade.
Yeah.
5 injuries inflicted was big.
Yeah, it was massive.
And then, I mean, broke armor 16 times. This. What do you do about that?
I love Bretts, but you can't. When you get into a fight, it can go south.
Well, that's just it, and that's basically what happened. Is I think in the second half, I was down to like 5 players left. My one saving grace that I thought would help take it to a 1-1 draw was I did manage to secure a blitz, and I did some very careful preparation to try and put myself in a position to fully capitalize on it. And then it just happened to be a ball landed, scattered right onto his Bull Centaur, made the catch on a 6.
Yep.
What a git!
Yeah, man, it happened so.
And now, because I've tried to capitalize on this blitz, it's like, well, now I'm just horribly out of position. So,
but it's the way it goes. It's the way it goes.
Yeah.
You have to roll with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah, the Bull Centaur did, and you got 6.
Yeah.
But yes, that clip will be at the end of today's segment. Please keep your eyes peeled.
You'll hear my wonderful explanation about careful preparation and planning for me to then just go, well, son of a bitch!
Yeah, effectively.
You did the right thing and then it didn't work anyway.
Welcome to Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good game. We both played you played well. I sort of like potatoed a little bit, but I got there in the end.
To be fair, Rich, you got to give yourself credit where credit's due. I mean, if you look at the SPP chart and show that off for the folks, like, come on.
Yeah. I guess I'm just too honest.
Going on.
There was some
very,
going on.
very much some whacking going on.
So let's have a look at the fixtures for this league then.
All right, okay.
See what you guys think.
First things first is Studfield Maulers versus Sports Injury. There's no point in saying anything. It's going to be the Maulers because that Norse team is fucking dead right now.
I would just have a look at the Maulers before you say that.
Oh, where are we? Oh, actually.
Oh, they've come back a bit, but they were looking a little bit mauled.
They were, considering this is game 4? Game 4?
This will be this is week 5 now. This will be game 5.
This will be. They've played 4 games. Sorry.
They've played 4, yeah.
Where's the development? There's a couple of blocks.
Well, they've lost. He's had to buy 2 Chaos Warriors, I think.
Ah, yes, he has, hasn't he? He's on. He's oh no, he's only got 3 Chaos Warriors there.
He obviously lost 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not.
And he's only got 1 reroll.
So while he has been hurt.
Oh yeah, 1 reroll.
While he has been hurt, and I'm not going to dispute that.
He's not quite as hurt as that Norse team.
The Norse team, Sports Injury, has been hurt far more. And Sports Injury is going to be going into what is going to be a very bash game.
Yep.
Without being able to bash.
Au contraire, think about it. You don't think about one thing. The Norse, they're getting linemen. Yes, they're loners, they're not very good. But they still have block inbuilt compared to this lot, which really don't. There's only 3 bits of block. Also,
and you've only got 1
please
reroll.
denote the team reroll number on the Chaos team.
There is only one team reroll. I don't think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I still think that Sports Injury. I mean, if he pulls it out of the bag, kudos to him. But I don't think Sports Injury will walk away with it.
You can't see it.
No, I just can't see. I can't see it happening. I think he's been too hurt. And what's he going to be talking about? 150 TV in inducements out the gate, which puts him on par with the Chaos TV. So there's going to be no inducements there for him other than his lineman. So he doesn't really have an option to buy anything.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I still think it's a draw, but
I'm thinking
that's how someone disagreed.
I'm thinking I'm thinking a draw as well. I'll be honest with you.
I'm gonna say 1-0 Studfield Maulers.
It's
draw,
fair. It's reasonable. It's reasonable.
Draw, and it's going. I'm probably going to say it's only a draw because because of the sheer amount of block on the Norse team. If you could
when you are bringing the fight, block is so powerful.
Yes, and if it's going to a bashy game, they're fair enough. Yes, they're armor 7, but as long as they get their both downs.
Yeah, they're a momentum team. So while you're going hard, they go hard. So Kill It and Grill It versus Liz on You. So this is another rat lizard.
So
we had a rat lizard last week. It went the way of the lizards. Do you reckon this one will go the same way?
I actually kind of want to give this to the rats.
Yeah, I want to say that as well. This Liz on You team, I think they're the ones that are hurt a bit. Yeah, they only got 10 men.
Yeah.
There's an armor down Saurus, which you never want to see.
No,
you got the armor down Saurus. You've only got one Saurus with development so far, though it is close to getting second level, which is quite nice.
Yeah,
but most of the development has gone on the has ended up on Skink so far, which you'd prefer it on the Saurus if you can. But if you're not getting armor breaks, you're just not getting armor breaks. The thrower for the rats does have a niggle, which is unfortunate, but he's going to be staying backline anyway, and they've got enough players on the roster that they'll only be putting him in on their drive when needed. And a agi up gutter runner with block and dodge is just going to be causing problems, and then you've got another gutter runner that's already got blodge as well. So, I mean, if you can pass off to one of the other two because they're both on the verge of leveling as well, then that's absolutely grand.
You take your first skill, you take your first score, and then try and level your second.
Yeah.
Don't you? But I have to agree with you. I can't
see
how you're going to beat them with the other team.
With that, this is.
I think this is going to be a classic 2-1.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
But next up, we've got halflings versus undead.
This should have undead written all over
How
it.
much tackle block has the undead team got?
So the Grand Old Party GOP right now only has 2 block. Sorry, 3 block, because one of the mummies has block. It currently has no tackle, which is frustrating.
Yes.
Guard's not going to help you much. You're 3 dice in anyway.
Well, that's just it. It's halflings are made of paper, and you don't want to be punching trees. So, what are you going to do, right? So the mighty blow I feel like is probably a little bit wasted here.
Yeah.
It's not really going to have a big impact on the game. I know it's a default skill for the mummies, but it's not really going to have like a huge impact like it would in other games.
I mean, it gives you trees something to think about. If you can deal with if the mummies can hold the trees up, then you can use your team to start fighting halflings, and you'll start.
Yeah, I guess. But to be fair, given the TV difference, I mean, the halflings are obviously going to be introducing.
Oh yeah, they're hot potting. They're all this
and a pot.
Yeah,
I possibly wouldn't go with deep root. I'd actually go with something. I would go with something more mobile. I mean, Morg, if you can get it, it's brilliant.
Zara?
But, even Zara
yeah.
or Buffy, or
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, or if you can get hold of Bertha's pretty useful as well. If you can deal with the bonehead, but the mobility factor is so useful.
But you see, that's the thing is, I think that halflings do have a little bit of an edge there because they, one turning for them is going to be a lot easier. It's not going to be as big of a deal. So I kind of feel, particularly as it is their first game, and this is their first season for this team, and therefore not many teams have development. I feel like the halflings probably stand a decent chance of pulling out a surprise victory.
I reckon she's got a halfling win in her, which is.
I do as well. I want to say that's going to be. I'm either going to say that's going to be a 1-1 draw for the halflings, but I want to believe that they can take it 2-1.
So you're going to go for the 1-1 draw, yeah?
I'm going to say the 1-1 draw, but I want to believe that they can go.
You want to believe they can do it, Fritch?
I am very much on the same sort of boat. So I believe that he can do it.
She can do it.
I believe that she can do it, given the dice rolls are good enough.
Yeah, it's a fun game anyway.
That being said, Tom is a very good player, so a 1-1. It may be a 2-1 to the GOP.
Yeah,
but again, it all depends on how those rolls goes. The things could just do mad fling shit and then just
It's
do
flinging, isn't it? It's flinging.
Yeah.
Well, that's the bit. You gotta throw some flings every now and then. If
Yeah.
you're not flinging, what's the point of playing flings?
Yeah, that's it. If you're not flinging, why are you flinging?
Yeah.
Croc Rocking Beats, so the ultimate named team versus, a strong themed team. But it's not called the Croc Rocking Beats, are they really? I'm sorry, Dave, but I can't see past those lizards. They've been looking really, really strong, and, I can't see past them.
Despite them looking so strong, what I am very surprised about is the complete lack of development.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? They
Yeah.
do seem to have nothing on them, but I
Yeah.
reckon at some point they are going to explode.
Yeah, no Saurus has. Sauruses have nothing. He is missing his good skink.
He is missing his good skink, and if I can flatten that movement up skink, I'll consider it a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
But beyond that, that's it. And then you yourself, you've got you didn't
I'm a little bit hurt.
You're a little bit hurt, yes.
And the blocker down, which means I'll
Yeah.
be producing a lineman for this game.
yes.
But I do have a mighty blow blitzer.
yes.
Yeah, he could do some work
He-
if
the-
you get all the
against-
skinks.
Yeah, on those skinks, they could actually cause a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that that blitzer last turn. That's foul.
I'm obviously a little bit sad about Raidwald, who is now movement down.
Yeah, moving
So-
down blitzer is painful.
It is a little bit painful there.
Hey, you told me to foul him.
I said you may as well go ahead, Fretch.
and you know what? I did.
And you did, you bastard.
Yeah. So what are you guys calling this? You gonna win, Dave?
Honestly, I don't think I do, but I think I'm going to be able to tease out a draw.
Cool.
I
Joyce, what Brett's
want
doing?
to say, I want to believe Dave can do it. I think you could do it. You can do a 2-1
Wow.
as long as you manage to deal with the problem, i.e. the skink, that particular skink.
Not all of them.
Deal with the rest of them as well. You do have 2 blitzers still.
This is true. I mean,
You
sort
want
of.
more, don't you?
I know it's obviously dodgy to say when I'm going to play my game against my opponent, but I mean, clearly the obvious plan for me is, smash his skinks to pieces, and then all I have to do is lock up his Sauruses while my blitzers run circles around him.
Exactly.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, linemen do exactly what linemen are supposed to do in a Brett team, which is their job is to protect the nobles while the nobles go and actually play with the ball.
Yes.
So if I stick a lineman on every Saurus, yeah, sure, he's going to punch some linemen that I don't really care about. They're peasants. It's what they're there for, right? But if I can smash a skink so he can't score, because he's only going to be he's going to be taking 4 into the game plus 1 induced one. If I can smash those skinks.
I don't think he's getting an induced one.
Yeah, he is. He's down to 10 players, I think.
No, I think he's 11. But anyway,
Is he?
hold
It's,
on,
he has got an MNG.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
6,
8, 9, 10.
7,
No, he
no, he is. He's getting an induced skink, yeah. So he's going to be going into that game with 4 skinks. So if I can smash those skinks, then
Kneecap
he's got to try and then score with Sauruses, which is
and you're probably going to get a bribe as well, which is going to be used for stamping.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Stamp. Yeah,
Stamping.
I reckon you can do it. It'll probably be a 2-1 sort of job.
I like your faith in me, but I'm definitely going to say draw 1-1.
Fair enough.
Right, Fritz, you going to win?
Yep.
I think you are.
Yeah. And to be fair, Nurgle versus Chaos Dwarf. Christ, that's going to be a drag.
It's going to go nowhere 1-0.
Yeah, it's going to be like a 1-0 sort of job. Let's have a look at Fear.
It's going to be the grindiest game in the universe.
It's
That's
going
for
to be
certain.
so grindy. It's going to be unreal. Where is Fear? Is the page? Is he? No, he isn't. Where is he? Where's he?
No, it's on the first page,
Yeah.
top right.
There's always a V.
But in terms of actual sort of development, he hasn't. Okay,
Nurgle Warriors
he's
with
got
block.
three Nurgle Warriors with block, but that's it.
They're the hardest things to level, mate. So you mean you'd be taking that? You'd be
True.
pretty pleased. You'd
And
be
then
pretty
if you
pleased.
look at say my team, which
You're giving him some inducements.
I'll be giving him some inducements, but say
You've got some cards.
I've
That's
got
all you
3
want.
dots of guard. I've got a block coming out of my
A
ears.
block ball centaur, and the movement or ball centaur will be nice if you can break past his line.
Yeah, as soon as he gets past.
I
his
think
line, that's fine.
it'll go to you though. I do think it'll go to you.
Yeah, it's I think in terms of like scoring wise,
1-0.
1-0 at least. 2-0's been a very strong convention recently. I've been doing a lot of 2-0s. It might happen
You
again.
have been doing a lot of 2-0s, but I'm inclined to say 1-0 to
yeah.
you. I think this is going to be a very long, very grindy game, and
Yeah.
it will only go 1-0 to someone.
Yeah, to
But
one
I think
of
that
us.
someone is going to be you.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so then we've got lastly we've got half elves versus orcs. I mean, it's orcs in it.
It has to be the orcs.
You've got to factor in the Graham factor, but also that half elf team. It's gonna struggle when you come up against with strength. I mean, it's got some nice level ups.
It does have some nice level ups. That IG5 blitzers with pain in the arse, and that movement. Honestly, that movement 7 lineman. He's a backup touchdown.
Yeah.
Comparatively speaking, though, the orcs also have some nice level ups, given that he has a tackle blitzer and he has 2 mighty blow blitzers, which means that there's going to be trouble there.
There's going to be.
And he has got a block black orc.
Oh, okay, good point. Yeah, he's got a block black orc, mighty blow blitzer.
So I'm thinking that with the 2 lots of mighty blow on there's going to be some serious punching against those elves, and the tackle blitzer is gonna be a problem.
Yes,
it's gonna. If you can get hold of the runny things, and I think Graham will position it well. So
how much dodge does he actually have?
He said he got 1.
He got 1 piece of dodge actually to the tackle.
Yeah, but you still, man, it still hurts.
Yeah, it still hurts. Yeah, I reckon this is Graham. I reckon it's
2-1.
2-1.
Yeah. I'd say 2-1. 2-1 to Graham.
Yeah,
cool.
Graham.
Right, let's just have a quick look at that leaderboard in that league.
Sure, Daisy.
Lizards at the top. Brett's at the bottom. Stuff in the middle.
Yeah. It's like
it's quite open, really.
This is still quite open, but this table right now is starting to split into 2 halves now, because you got Lizards at the top with their high scoring, high wins, orcs, and obviously orcs, myself, and the thing rats on 2, and then it sort of drops off quite heavily. Like 1-1, there's a random Nurgle team in the middle there that have 3 draws, and then there's just lots of zeros. Yeah, it's starting to split in half.
Well, yeah, I mean, a single win for me immediately catapult. Assuming that Oathbound don't do well, a single win for me like immediately catapults me from 12 to 9.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty tight. So, what's the story in 2B?
The story in 2B is as
to be or not to be.
Here we are. The Snotling Royals against the Hungry Prince of Bellend. For those of you who didn't watch this game, holy fucking tits! Jesus wept. I have seen some shit in my life, but that game was mental. There was. Snotlings did some absolutely daft things. They got away with it, and then right in the last cusp at the end, Liam manages to get one halfling out, picks it up with a tree, sends it far enough away from the mass of Snotlings to do the score. And this was turn 15. That was it. Apart from that, the 14 turns before that, clusterfuck.
Looking at the stats and dice rolls, like the number of the surprising thing for me is like you don't normally see halflings throwing that many blocks.
Yeah, I know.
45 blocks.
Yep.
What actually surprises me more than that though is out of 45 blocks, only 2 injuries.
Yeah.
Because Snotlings are t-shirt saves.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
They were those Snotlings those Snotlings, like the little t-shirts they were wearing, they must be made of like, the same stuff that Black Panther wears.
The crazy thing is like you look at the dice rolls for the Snotling Royals, right? They failed 14 armor, but they only failed 3 injury.
I know. It's
like that is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like the armor was folding a bit like paper, but they must have took some thick skull pills or something like that.
Dwarf pills, the dwarflings.
They definitely injected some dwarf DNA in there because they were getting stunned like no one's business, and also there's quite a few KOs were happening. But that being
Well, yeah,
said,
I mean, you look at the wake up after KO rate
that
as well.
is
I mean,
pitiful. Literally,
pitiful.
that is pitiful. I mean, like it was it actually the turn after the touchdown. Literally, he had 6 things in the KO box. There were still 6 things in the KO box when the actual turn started. 6 things just didn't wake up. It was bless him, but
it looks like dice rolls all over the place in that game were just absolutely pants though as well. Because I mean, you look at the other team, and I mean, you look at the d6s rolled, 21 ones. Everything else around 10 through 15.
And then look at his
all at the low end.
As well as that, look at his block die as well.
Block dice, 28 scores, 21 both downs. I mean, that again, so bottom heavy on the results.
And then think about it as well, because the Snotlings have dodge and they have sidestep. Those 44 pushes and 18 defender stumbles as well. Basically, just combine the two.
It's
pretty poor dice.
And look, if I should look at the actual dice roll, see how many 3 dice there were thrown by the by the.
Yeah, I know halflings. You know, other than neutrines, you don't expect that.
They just were not.
Not in the slightest.
They just were not going down, and then literally what stopped him scoring in the first half. Let's see if I can find it. Where's it gone? Oh, where was it? Wait. I'll find it in a minute. But it's like there was a triple skull involved.
Yes, there was.
There was a triple skull.
It was late on, wasn't it?
It was relatively late on. I don't know why.
Late on in the first half, was it? Stop the drive.
It stopped the drive. Yeah, it was.
Are you referring to Paulo Forkson versus Tinky of Blinky, where it was both down, skull, both down?
No. There was a straight up triple skull. There was a straight up triple skull.
Not according to the.
I don't know why it's logged, but
not according to the stats.
Video evidence exists.
Thrown by the halfling. It wasn't. It was thrown by the halflings, not the snotlings, for starters, Rich.
So the only one that's remotely close to that is the both down, skull, both down, which, given the fact it was thrown by a halfling without block, is essentially triple skull.
I don't know why it's not there, but he definitely threw one, and it definitely.
Video evidence will follow at the end of this segment.
Anyway, let's move on because we're going to be looking for something that doesn't exist now, apparently.
Yes.
We called this completely the other way, so well done, Max.
Yep, well done, Max. This
looks like a tight game, to be fair.
Yeah.
Obviously, got hold of the Ghouls. Got some running done.
Yeah. That looks it. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
We should probably move on because otherwise we'll be here all night.
True. We're not spirit out. We just thought Ben was going to beat him. It turns out the Ghouls.
Max was going to beat Ben. This one, I think we were Sean was of the opinion that this was going to go to the Norse as well. It's going to go to the Norse because this is the Norse team that took like 147 SPP out of the one game with the Snotlings.
Yeah, it was daft.
And it paid off.
Yeah,
against
like this,
the vampires.
This Norse,
it's to be expected.
Yeah, this
and to
Norse
be fair,
team with that.
If you have a look at the damage that he did as well, I mean, 4 injuries inflicted.
It's nasty.
Team, and Vamps came out of that with just the MVP SPP. He came out of that with a really, really solid 19 SPP.
Yeah, it's nasty, isn't it? 8 KOs, 4 injuries. You got battered.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
This was a good one. I don't think we saw a draw here.
No, I think we were.
No, we all gave it to Dave. So well done there to Charles.
Yes, we thought the
got an injury on a Saurus as well.
Yeah, leveled up on what sort of thing? Just MNG.
Next
but
game.
that guy now has block.
Yeah.
And the Skinksburg 1-in-9ers did also suffer a death, which is always devastating for a lizard team.
Yeah,
everything's expensive.
What's the thing that died? Do we know?
Saurusy.
I was going to say, looking at the roster, it kind of looks like it was a Saurus.
Yes, it would have been. Yeah, he would have had 6 and
that's good. That's kind of smart, isn't it?
Yeah.
And got the MNG as well, the double smart.
And especially given the fact that those Sauruses on the Skinksburg 1-in-9ers is super, super unfortunate to see, but like only two Sauruses now with levels, and one of them is MNG'd. That hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard game. What's going on with the next game?
Oh, sorry, I read that wrong.
So
I think
Lizards
Sophie
losing.
managed to. Sophie scored.
Yes, Sophie discovered what the ball was. But yeah,
Also a death, by the way.
yeah, she also died.
She's taking a beating. It's unfair.
Yeah. She's taken a beating.
Well, from that game
got a level,
alone.
and now has guard.
Yeah.
From that game alone, though, 4 injuries inflicted and a kill.
Steve looks like he got a lot of SPP.
Yeah,
Christ.
well, 4 injuries and a death. It's not hard to get SPP when you're doing 4
Well, no,
injuries.
just go on to the SPP and
and
let's see
a
what
death.
actually Steve got 10 SPP out that game.
Yeah.
Jesus. So injury, a touchdown,
And
the MVP.
MVP.
Yeah. Oof.
Boot 'em.
Yeah, that was
Good game.
Well, if you look at the full Montezuma now as a roster, and prepare to weep slightly.
Oh, a TV of 850 doesn't really.
Yeah, he's got 4 Saurus, 3 Skinks.
Oh my Christ! What happened?
Now with only 2 team rerolls out the gate, there should at least be
I think
one more.
She took the 6 Saurus route.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with that few rerolls, I mean the Croxy goes a little bit out there, but with that few rerolls, clearly more Sauruses should be there than there really are.
Yeah.
And
she's lost.
there's
2 in
only
the
3
first game.
skinks.
I think she's brought one back and then lost it again.
Yeah, and there's only 3 skinks there. And I mean, if you consider that this is this is after week 4, and there's basically only 9 SPP of development.
Yeah,
left
you've
in
been
that
in that team, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's ouch.
I mean, don't get me wrong. For 2B, there's still another 6 games to go.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
again,
it's not over, but...
could be turned around. And I mean, you know, getting some points out of it, getting some development in there, but only 9 SPP of development on Saurus's week 4 is rough.
Yeah.
Is
And
rough.
then we finish off with a 2-0 win for the Lizards, and I think again this one was pretty much, we said, a draw.
Yes.
Sean called it for the Lizards, so
Yeah. Sure was
Massive Purple Weapons also suffering a death.
there's a lot of deaths this week, isn't there?
2B
Yeah.
suffering quite a few deaths.
I think just generally across the league seem to be a lot of deaths.
Yeah. Now it looks like the player's already been replaced.
Yeah.
That Orc team does have 11 on the line. But the Agi down Black Orc, not the world's worst
No.
thing to suffer an Agi down on. Like that's an acceptable injury there.
Yeah.
But only one player, the Blitzer, which now has tackle, maintaining any development, means that they've clearly also had a bit of a
Falling behind.
side of it. Yeah.
You've got a few players on the edge of things, so it could get better again.
Yeah, you've got at least
it's
one
not-
Black Orc and one Blitzer that could, in principle, level up really
Yeah.
quickly now.
Yeah.
I would probably be buying that Apo as well. Now they've got the money.
Yeah, you're 160. You carry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, carrying gold.
But yeah, that was.
Let's look at some fixtures.
As we go
so
in.
we've got Santa's Vandal. Well, this is obviously a Norse win, isn't it? That's the ridiculous. That's going to be even more level.
Top of the table Norse who got the super powered steroid shot when they went against the Snotlings against a bunch of halflings.
This
Yeah.
is going to go bad.
Come on. To be fair though, if there's one thing that these halflings are really good at doing at the moment, it is drawing games.
Yeah,
True.
but they're not going to draw this one. They're going to die.
Yeah, you're right. They are absolutely Santa's Vandals, all the way. I think
2-1.
2-1. 2-1's fair. 2-1's fair.
You just the
Yeah,
halflings
2-1.
can always crack off the thing.
Dave's not quite so Saurus Lizards versus Max's Undead. I think Max could win this one.
I'm going to give this to. I'm 100% going to give this to Max.
Yeah,
This
same.
is
That
this is
team-
absolutely the glory hammer all the way, because the Skinksburgs are just decimated.
This game's hurting them. They're really down what makes Lizards tick. Next game they'll be fine, but this game
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna hurt, innit?
This is gonna slap. And hard.
Yeah.
I
Can't-
kind of feel like this is probably going to be either a 1-0 or a 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think the Lizards might be able to grind it out and keep it at a 1-0, but I don't think they're going to be able to claw back. And
I reckon they'll score one, but
if they score one, it's going to be 100% a 2-1. But
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I think they're going to get
next
slapped,
one,
and it's either going to be 1-0 or 2-0.
this next one,
Now, with how
This could be
decimated,
interesting.
how decimated that Lizard team are,
yeah.
but then again,
He's still
it's
giving
still
he's still
Snotlings.
giving 300k in inducements to the Snotlings.
yeah,
I actually can see Crazy Sam crazily
The
winning
mad-
this.
bastard that is doing it.
So the funny thing here is I'm going to agree with you. I think this is a win for the Snotling Royals, but I think the real winner of that game
Yeah.
overall will actually be the Lizards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
'cause we might
this
get
is
some-
an opportunity for those Sauruses to go nuts on development.
yeah, they
Yeah.
can power level with this.
Yeah. You could pull something back from here.
Yeah,
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did lose the game itself, but overall, I think it's going to be like they could quite happily lose that game like 1 or 2-0, and they're still going to come out of it with more SPP than their opponent did. They're
Yeah.
going to come out of that with I'm hoping at least 2 extra Sauruses leveled.
yeah,
Yeah, it's fair.
yeah.
But if they can get more, then freaking brilliant. I think this is probably going to be a little bit of a feasting day for the Lizards there.
Yeah,
But I think they will lose.
there's going to be a smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Smorgasbord of Snotling.
Yeah. for the
Next
Lizards.
one, Orcs
Yeah.
versus Humans. I think that this is the Humans, don't you?
This is a strong human team.
It is a strong human team.
I mean,
I
Ben,
appreciate Max managed
the
to
commish-
like.
Oh, actually, that being said, they're missing an orc or ogre and a blitzer.
If they're missing an orc, I would be
Sorry,
wondering
an
how they
ogre.
got an orc in the first place.
An ogre. They're missing that ogre. What happened to him? It's a movement
that-
down. It's a
That's
movement
pretty
down
nasty.
ogre.
That's pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's a movement down ogre and a just an MNG blitzer, isn't it? No, it's a niggled blitzer. Oof, that's a rough time.
Yeah, it's a rough game, but I mean, it'll hurt him, but I think he's still got the beating of that orc team, don't you?
No, I definitely favour Ben for this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Orcs
while
seem
while
even
yes,
tackle.
the ogre being down is a little bit frustrating. Massive purple weapons are missing.
More.
You know, they're missing the development.
Yeah.
That you know, they just don't have. They don't
Skills.
have any skills on
Yeah.
the team. Whereas at least Ben has skills, and you know he's got all of his key positionals,
Yeah.
and they're all starting to get leveled. And
Yep.
I feel like unless something goes horribly wrong for him, I feel like Ben's probably got that one in the bag. I think
fair.
it's probably going to be the traditional Blood Bowl score of 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of the one that, even though yes they're missing their ogre, but you got to remember they're humans. They are daft levels of versatile. They can adapt to any kind of
Yeah,
source.
you can
situation.
adapt to what you're playing against.
Well, and don't forget as well, he does have, even though he's missing a blitzer and an ogre, he has got a mighty blow blitzer and a strength up blitzer. So that's a strength 4 blitzer, and he's got a blodge blitzer.
Yep. Yep.
Right, and his catcher not only has block but also has sprint.
Yeah. So it's for what he's missing in those two players, he's more than got for in the skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This should be to the commish.
I think this is probably going to be a 2-1 victory for the for Brutal Deluxe BBFC here, because at the end of the day, this is classic Orcs versus humans, but the humans are developed. They're going to take it 2-1.
Yeah,
nice
fair.
simple.
Next up, we've got Kenny's Lizards versus Sean's the Vampires.
Whoa.
It's pretty equal on TV. I'm tempted to give it to Kenny's Lizards because the Vampires rocking in with an 11-player roster.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some bloodlust going through, and you are gonna start removing your own players. This could backfire horribly against the Lizardman team that is, you know, it's not the Croxicle setup. So this is the 6 Saurus 5 Skink setup. It's 2-1, I think, but I think I'm favouring Kenny Sorry, Sean.
I'm favouring Kenny as well. It's the Twinklers, bless them.
Team, man.
They're having an okay time of it. We've got two blodging
yeah.
vamps, one block. It's a kick throw and a tackle throw, but like you say, there's only going to be 11 going into this game, and he can't really get any more.
Yeah.
So, 14 rerolls though, so he's probably, he needs them for the freaking bloodlust.
He needs him for the bloodlust today.
But it's going to be
Absolutely needs him for the bloodlust.
Yeah.
Good use of hypnotic gaze could work out well for him here, though.
Yeah, give the gaze. I mean, they are actually one, so they are gazeable.
Yeah,
Well,
very gazeable.
that's just it. I mean, if you can hypnotic gaze a Saurus,
Yeah.
it ceases to be a threat a little bit here, and then you just kind of have to deal with the skinks. Now, and
you're strength 4, aren't you? At the end of the day, on a vampire, so
Yeah.
you can deal with it. But I just think once he starts wailing on those thralls, it's gonna.
Well, that's just it.
South,
It's
isn't it?
Monster Flavor wants to focus on the thralls, ignore the vamps, and then the vamps are just going to have a terrible time.
Yeah.
Fair.
And finally, last but not least,
Chaos versus Dwarf.
Chaos versus some dwarfs.
This is 0-0.
This
1-1
is
written all
a
over it.
grinder, isn't it? Christ, this is going
Draw.
to be a draw. Let's double check the teams, make sure I'm not completely talking out about the backside.
So this is the friendly local
developed.
team at 12:30 and
Yep.
Snow White and some dwarves at 12:40. So they're both basically on the money with one another.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's going to make the biggest difference here is the fact that if you look at the dwarf team,
Yep.
as opposed to the Chaos team, the dwarf team actually has some guard on the line now.
Yes.
He's got more guard
And
than I
a
get.
runner has a block,
And a
and
blitzer as a
Blitzer
dodge.
has dodge, which means that from a skills perspective, the Longbeards there are going to be a little bit difficult to clear
Remove.
out of the way. So those Chaos Warriors at Strength 4 are going to struggle a little bit because guard means that those Longbeards are going to be helping one another out all day, every day, right?
Yeah.
I think the agi up Beastman is probably going to be a little bit of a problem, but I mean, if you can target him down,
Yeah.
then you're onto a winner. I mean, if you get he doesn't have dodge, so if you get a good sort of set of tackle zones on him, he's gonna struggle there. I kind of feel like it is going to be again another grindy game, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be a draw. I think this is going to possibly result in a 1-0 victory for the Dwarfs.
No, it's fair enough, man.
Fair enough.
Lastly, leaderboard.
Lastly, the leaderboard. Yes. The Santos Vandals.
Santa's running away with it.
Yeah. Forgot,
This looks a lot less spread out. The other two leagues quite
Yeah.
tight. This one's
This
got
one's
like
top
quite
heavy.
a difference.
yeah. So North at the top. Vampires just about. Sean is doing well. He's had a good run.
I think your game of the week this week is actually the full Montezuma versus the Snotling Royals. Again, I've got to go with
just for hilarity.
just for craziness, but that's a 6-pointer right there.
Yes. That is yeah. yeah. That's a very good point. They're both bottom of the league. They're both there. It's just gonna be whoever wins that gets catapulted, chunk straight up.
Yeah. Start the way back. But yeah. Anyway, good games.
Yes, it's going to be
Do
a
the
very
thing.
interesting one.
Play Blood Bowl.
Do the
We've
thing.
got
Play
a double
Blood Bowl.
weeker, haven't we? We've got a double weeker this week, so we might not be back now till the new year. So
No,
Merry Christmas.
no. Apparently,
And,
I've heard this is not the 2-week week. That's the one after. So it's wait. I have to double
this
check.
is the 2-week week, mate.
Is it? Is it now?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Oh yeah, because Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people do have the time to sort of arrange their games this week. I mean, we'll get the message from the commish soon enough.
It'll
as
be on
to
Facebook or something.
which one it is. In fact,
it.
I'm pretty certain he did just throw it in. So let us just go and
Yeah, he
have
says
a
this
quick
round
check.
will last for 2 weeks due to Christmas.
Yeah.
You've got no exclusive mother fumblers. That's what he says.
Which
So, yeah.
means that you've got from the 21st of December until the 3rd of January to get your games in this week, folks. So
Yes. And I guess finally, I guess we since we won't be doing one of these next week, we're doing one the week after. So yeah, everyone have a happy Christmas and a fantastic New Year. And yeah,
Don't go out. Stay at home.
don't go out. Stay at home. Save lives. Wash hands. don't go near anyone who's in tier 4. They are Satan apparently.
They're Londoners.
They're
I like how you're giving it actually a far more consistent message than our own government
Their
is.
actual government. Yeah,
Than our actual government is. You know, ladies and gentlemen, listen to the Calamitous Casual because we give better advice than the UK government.
Yeah.
Stay home, save lives, and enjoy your Christmas sensibly.
Sensibly alone with a bottle of whiskey. That might not be so.
There's one thing a good recommendation. Islay single malt Scotch Bowmore, 19 years age, wonderfully smoky aftertaste. Go nuts, kids.
Speaking of which, if anyone is out there wanted to sponsor us, please.
Bowmore, give me subs, please.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Like we say, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everyone. Same to you too.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's hope we see the year out with a rather bloody bang.
Will you let me have the touchback game? Are you watching this? I'm clicking him. What? What do you mean? There you go. I'm clicking the thrower. I've clicked him like 10 times.
Dave's in the Twitch chat going, these uphill blocks. It's like, mate, we're beside ourselves. We're just this is like,
Fuck it, he should have followed up. Yes! Oh! Beautiful! Let's go! I used up all the good dice! Onto the ball and it bounces into 3 of my tackle zones. Or 4, but I prefer it to be just the 3. No, it's bouncing into just 1. That's... it's not the best, but...
Yeah, that's his strat now. He's going to slowly push it up the field.
Yeah, well, fail the pickup. Oh no, he succeeded the pickup.
Oh no, he's done it.
Shit.
Oh no, this could happen.
No!
Wait,
All
hang
it
on.
took was 6s.
Throw teammates to success. Go that way. Oh, he's landed. That's
He's
it.
landed it. He's landed it.
That's it.
GG's. And it's all over just like that.
That's all it took.
That's all it took. Gives you a whole fucking turn
Right,
for
so that's
nothing.
150%, or 167% and 183%.
Believe the 2 dying option is more likely.
I think, yeah, well, it's 2/3
Yeah.
versus a 50, and then what is it, 4/5
Yeah.
versus 5/6 versus that. So if you sum those together, 2/3 and 5/6, yeah, I think this is probably the better option. So yeah, he's made that.
I hate blitzers so much. They're so shit.
Oh,
They're so shit to play against.
Okay.
It's like, it's just.
well, that's just it. Is how do you defend against it?
It's a,
I've always hated it every time it's happened to me, and my opponent's been able to capitalize on it. And I'm not gonna lie, I have capitalized on this in the best way that I possibly can.
LOL.
Oh, what?